Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to McAdee's Entertainment. I'm your host as always, Adam McGahee. I hope you guys had a fantastic Christmas, and hope you also have a blessed and successful new year. Before we hop into this video, I wanted to say thanks again so much to all of those who are helping grow this channel so quickly. We are quickly approaching 2,000 subscribers, which is absolutely mind-blowing. I have tons more Star Wars content planned, and it would mean so much if you could help this channel grow even more by giving this video a like, subscribing to the channel, and tapping the bell icon to be notified of all of our latest videos. Without further ado, let's hop right into this. We continue today in issue 2 of the Jango Fett Origins comic called Jango Fett Open Seasons. This series chronicles the dark, brutal, and violent upbringing that Jango Fett went through that helped shape him into the ruthless bounty hunter that we came to know and love him for in the Star Wars prequels. In the last issue, it begun with Count Dooku talking to his master Darth Sidious about his selection for the possible template of the upcoming clone army that they plan on creating. He tells his master how he came to know of Jango Fett and recounts the bounty hunter's tale. The story focused on Jango as a young child whose parents were murdered in cold blood by the Death Watch, which were a clan of violent rogue Mandalorians led by Tor Vizsla. Jango is rescued by the true Mandalorians led by a man known as Jaster Meriel. The young boy teamed up with these Mandalorians who helped them defeat the Death Watch. Believing the Death Watch threat to be over, Jaster Meriel saw the potential in the young Jango and adopted the boy as a foundling and raised him to be a Mandalorian. That is where that issue ended and where today's story begins. The issue begins as a cutback to Count Dooku 10 years prior to Attack of the Clones, who is at a mysterious castle that we saw at the beginning of the last issue. He approaches a droid, asking it if the prisoner is ready. The droid confirms and opens the door, revealing a frail, withered man strapped to a table surrounded by medical droids. The man tells Dooku he has given up and will give him the information that he wants. The tortured prisoner is revealed to be a former Mandalorian named Silas who served with Jango many years prior. Dooku kidnaps Silas to get more information on Jango Fett. The former Mandalorian warrior regretfully then begins to tell more about his former friend Jango, who he deems the greatest Mandalorian who ever lived. We then cut back to the past, to a much younger and healthier Silas, who is greeted by a very young Jango Fett, who is donned in green and red armor, which looks strikingly similar to the armor his son Boba would wear many years later. Jango, who now has his own squad of Mandalorians assigned by his mentor Jaster, tells Silas it is time to gear up for their upcoming mission. We then see Jaster Meriel, who begins to list the mission details to his fellow Mandos. He explains how this is Jango's first assignment as a squad commander, and the assignment is a simple extraction mission on Corta 6. He explains that there is a security squad held captive by native hostiles, and they need to go in and rescue them. Jaster assures the team that this will be an easy job for easy credits. As the Mandalorians line up into their ships, Jaster tells the young Jango to make him proud. Jango is then confronted by the Mandalorian Montross, who seems to disapprove of the father-son relationship Jango and Jaster have forged over the years. Montross believes this has made Jaster soft and clouds his judgment on who will be the future successor. Jango, taken aback by these comments, tells Montross that Jaster will and always has done what is right for the Mandalorians. Montross simply responds by saying, "Let's hope we can say the same about you." As the Mandalorians approach the planet, their ships are bombarded by ion cannon fire, which causes their ships to crash land on their destination, Corta 6. Surprised at this sudden attack, the Mandalorians shake it off and open the doors to begin their mission, when suddenly they are then ambushed by a barrage of enemy fire that picks off several Mandalorian people one by one. Jango, realizing the mission recon was all wrong, calls out to Jaster that the men were all being cut down, bodies raining right in front of him. Jango orders for the remaining soldiers in the nearby trenches to take cover. Jaster then orders for the remaining men to regroup at Jango's coordinates and abort the attack. Montross, believing Jango cowardly for taking cover, continues the assault against the armed natives of the planet. Jaster demands for them to abort mission. Montross refuses and continues the attack. A native warrior then tosses a grenade at Montross. Jaster then leaps into the fray and pushes Montross aside, saving him from the explosion. He guns down the remaining soldiers and scolds Montross for his reckless actions. He then updates Montross that Jango used the attack as a diversion to continue the mission and go after their target. We cut to Jango, who leads his squad of Mandalorians through the woods, when they are then ambushed by a group of armored soldiers hiding in the ground. Jango then realizes exactly what is going on when he notices these soldiers. This is an ambush set up by the Death Watch, who were out for revenge against the true Mandalorians for defeating them those many years ago. Jango ignites his flamethrower and torches the Death Watch soldiers in the area and calls out to Jaster, informing him of the trap that they have all just walked into. We then cut back to Jaster and Montross, who are then confronted by the Death Watch leader Tor Vizsla in a gigantic four-wheeled tank. Jaster tells Montross that this was all his fault for getting faulty second-hand recon, and that he will be exiled from the group if they survive this day. Vizsla then opens fire on the Mandalorians. Montross uses his jetpack to blast out of the way, knocking Jaster to the ground. Jaster desperately calls out to Montross for an airlift. Montross then tells Jaster that he is through taking orders from him, and that he will take good care of Jaster's troops. He then rockets off while Jaster screams out, opening fire at Tor Vizsla's tank. Tor Vizsla then uses the tank to let out a barrage of blaster bolts, all striking into and piercing through the armor of the Mandalorian leader. Jango sees his master gunned down right in front of his very eyes and rushes to save him. Silas then leaps on top of Jango, saving him until the tank leaves. Jango then approaches the smoking, weakened body of Jaster Muriel. He takes off the warrior's helmet, revealing his face for the first time. He apologizes for not having his master's back. Muriel places his dying hand on Jango's, proud of the man Jango had become. We then cut to the traitorous Montross. Montross, believing Jango to be dead, yells at the men that it's time to leave. Then, in the distance, the Mandalorians see Jango approach them, carrying the dead body of Jaster Muriel, who tells them that they are going after Death Watch. Montross tells Jango that he is the one in charge now that Jaster is gone. Jango, refusing to be under the leadership of Montross, calls him a coward for leaving Jaster to die on the battlefield. Silas and the other Mandalorians agree, vowing to follow Jango and no one else. Montross then runs off, and Jango is elected the new leader of the Mandalorians. We then go back to present day in Dooku's castle, where Silas has finished his story. Silas begs Dooku not to tell Jango he has betrayed him. Dooku then walks away, telling Silas he cannot make promises, and orders the droids to stop the Mandalorian's heart. And that is the conclusion of issue 2 of Jango Fett Open Seasons. This comic is very interesting to me, for it allows us to see a side of Jango that we really did not get to see fleshed out in the movies. I'll be covering issue 3 on this channel very soon, and can't wait for you all to see what happens next. Have you read this series? What other Star Wars stories should we cover in the future? Sound off in the comments. Also be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon to be notified of all of our latest videos. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you are awesome and loved. God bless, and I will see you in the next one.